Welcome to the Wet Palate Podcast, where South Florida's fine dining scene means unfiltered truth and culinary passion. I am your host, Brenda, writer, editor, creator, and your behind-the-scenes guide to everything Michelin in Florida and beyond. Today we dive headfirst into the 2025 Michelin Guide Florida Ceremony, the glam, the gossip, the surprises, and yes, the snubs. This is not and never will be your polished press release recap. It is the raw, real, and refreshingly honest episode you have been waiting for. From unexpected award oversights and exciting star decisions to what went down at the stunning Four Seasons Orlando, consider this your exclusive backstage pass. Pour a glass, settle in, and let's get into the Michelin Guide madness uncensored. As most of you know, I cover most of the South Florida fine dining, and with that comes analyzing the Michelin Guide's annual results. I will not be going into details I've already covered in the past. If you want Michelin Guide Florida 101 or to hear what my predictions have always been, please listen to episodes 3, 13, 26, 29, 44, 45, and 60. Those will offer more detailed, deep, geeky dives into this topic. You will also find more scoop into Michelin Guide facts and tidbits you might not already know. It has been an exhausting couple of weeks navigating the ceremony aftermath. So much to go over in detail, so let's get to it. Also, as you probably know, the Michelin Guide Florida returned to Orlando this time, where the culinary fireworks first lit up in 2022. This time, instead of a modest small tent at the Ritz, Orlando went all out. And I mean all out at the Four Seasons Resort at Walt Disney World. This was my 6th time attending a ceremony. I have covered all 4 in Florida and 2 in New York. I now have much to compare it to. The grounds of the Four Seasons are large and in charge. To enter, they checked IDs starting exactly at 6 p.m. The check-in area activated, checking in guests off a list and scanning personal QR codes. I have noticed an increase in security through the years. Can't sneak in. After breezing past check-in lines, guests enter the red carpet step and repeat area for one of many photo ops. Within 5 steps of entering the venue, servers were ready, offering bubbles and bites. I did a quick walk around to familiarize myself with the layout, and I walked, and I was ecstatic to find that they finally provided seating for about 300 guests. Those of us wearing heels were extremely thankful. What a difference that made. In the past, if there was seating for 40, that was generous. So it was standing room only usually the entire time, but not this time. A violinist played on stage along to songs at just the right volume as everyone made their way in. Each city provided a mini activation area with interactive activities, fun selfie ops, and hometown pride on display. Food, wine, and spirit sponsors showcase their products and style, offering endless bites and pours. Of course, Bibendum made the rounds like the A-list celebrity that he is. One of my favorite parts is always snagging a photo with him. This year, I was able to travel with a friend who also got an invite through media as well. And he doubled as my producer for the night, helping me interview some of our favorite chefs. Lucky me. In case you missed it, I will replay some of those audio bites for you in a second. But thank you so much, Noah. You rocked it, even though you blurred Chef Michael Beltran's video and he's not forgiving you for it. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. He did a really good job, and I'm so grateful. Thank you, Noah.
Chef Logan from Stubborn Seed.
Jeremy Ford, Stubborn Seed, baby.
I never go to Stubborn Seed ever. Tell me how. The OG. Tell me how you guys are feeling about being here today, repeat stars, and how you're feeling for the other restaurants that are newly crowned today as new stars.
So I think for everybody new coming into this, I remember the first year I got mine. It was the most incredible, moment of my entire life. So I think for all of them, this is probably the biggest night that they're ever going to have. We're very blessed to be back here for year 4 in a row.
Yeah,
right?
4 in a row.
And you have some jewelry there?
Yeah, I have a little bit of jewelry there. Yeah. But honestly, couldn't do it without Chef Logan here.
That is correct.
It's been a long year, but I'm excited for all the chefs that we have on board to see that they're going to be able to be a part of this. Yeah.
Well, I don't think you need luck, but I'll wish you luck anyway. It's just happy to share this moment with you.
Maybe.
That's something I said. If you follow the Wet Palate, I've been talking about Butcher's Club perhaps. I'm a fan, so maybe. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. Yay. Cheers. Thanks, Brenda. Love you.
I have Nando Cheng from Itamay Ao, who has been named as an addition. Say hello.
Hello.
Tell me how you're feeling about being a new addition for Miami, and after closing the restaurant, opening the restaurant again. Well, a little bit of a different concept. Tell us about that.
I feel good. A bit nerve-wracking because I'd wish I was surrounded by my team. Like, you know, this is a merit that is earned by a group of people. So, but I'm here representing. Well, they're at service right now as we speak. So, you know, as good as it can be.
Wow, I can't believe that they're actually having service tonight. And tell me a secret. Where's Val?
Val's probably, you know, hanging out somewhere around here, you know, saying hello. She's too famous.
She's at the bar. Shh, don't tell anybody. I wish you the best. I'm rooting for you. You deserve it. And thank you for chatting with me. Kojin, another one of my favorites. I think I might be a little biased, everyone I'm talking to, but I don't care because it's me and this is what I do. So, names, restaurant.
Pedro Maderos from Kojin.
Catherine Maderos from Kojin.
And they just got announced as a new addition. So tell me how you're feeling being here today. Have you ever attended a Michelin ceremony? And tell me how you're feeling today.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, not nervous
Not
at
nervous at all. Not nervous at all.
No, service is only in like, what, 10 minutes? Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, you have someone there?
No.
Oh, I'm like, oh, shoot. Okay, and so tell me what happened immediately after the announcement.
Tears, celebration,
He
champagne.
flicked all of us off.
And this is Kojin 2.0. Tell me what that means.
So we had a Little River pop-up. It was 500 square feet, and now we have 1,700 square feet in a real kitchen. No more induction burners from IKEA. So that's good.
It's a nice improvement.
There's a pastry station.
I know. Yeah.
Lucky you.
Well, they are amazing, and if you have not yet checked them out, look them up. They're in Coral Gables, and it's Kojin.
And maybe it's because of that I didn't get enough time to explore more of the venue. I wasn't eating or drinking as much since I was walking around talking to everyone, although that is part of the excitement as well. It is so heartwarming to see so much of Miami there in one place, knowing how far all these teams have come and having visited them all locally, plus some in Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and Orlando. I definitely don't have any experience with the St. Pete scene. I'm going to have to remedy that. I felt like they were forgotten most of the night. More of that in a second. About an hour in, they asked everyone to take a seat so they could begin at 7 p.m. sharp. The reception has 100% been longer in the past years that I recall, at least by half an hour. By the end of the night, the Guide's elusive anonymous inspectors gave 33 shimmering stars, including 1 new Michelin star recipient and 4 new 1 Michelin stars. To recap, the ceremony included the cities of Miami, Orlando, Tampa, St. Petersburg-ish, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach. There were tears, celebrations, and audible gasps in the room for the next hour as each selection was revealed. MC Java Ingram delivered the show with elegance and charm, leading honorees to the stage for heartfelt interviews and priceless unscripted moments. The camaraderie was off the charts, hugs, high fives, and toothy grins. Let's get to the official results. If you listened to my recent Michelin Guide Florida Perspective and Predictions podcast, you knew most of these picks were probably happening. Not to toot my own horn, but to toot my own horn. With one exception, I was spot on. The first thing they did at the ceremony was to give out special awards. The Sommelier Award went to our very own Jacqueline Pirolo of Michelina, a happy surprise, but not really to those of us who know her. But she was not in attendance because she wasn't extended an invite. I'm not sure what happened there. This caught her off guard. It got everyone off guard. Michelin dropped the ball there. How do you forget to invite an award recipient? And the first one that you give out at that. Not really sure what happened there. Next was the Young Chef Award. This one went out to Juan Camilo Liscano of Palma, and I absolutely love this award for him. If you recall, I was torn on him receiving a star after he got named an addition. I do love Palma, but I felt like he has more to give still, and that makes this award perfect. He's young, and this is a nod in support of his skills and what the future might bring. The other awards were for service and cocktails, which did not go to South Florida cities. Did I think Michelin would rank anyone up? No. Did they rank anyone up? No. At least not in Miami, and more of this in a bit. Did I think Michelin would rank a restaurant from a 1 to a 2? Maybe. Did they? Not in Miami, yes, in Orlando. I saw all of these current ones keeping their stars, whether I agreed with it or not. What did I think Michelin was going to do? let's just keep it. Ariete, Stubborn Seed, Coat, Shingo, Entre Nos, Tambourine, and the Surf Club. On a separate note, Chef Timo of Tambourine Room, effective on April 30th, has stepped down as chef de cuisine. I'm not sure what this means yet for the restaurant, if they already have someone in place or not, or how this will affect the star, if at all. There's a rumor I have not yet confirmed about a CDC from another one of our one stars jumping ship to go ahead Tambourine Room. I would be on board with that if true, but I can't comment on that until I have it confirmed, to be determined, I suppose. Did I think any restaurant would lose a star? No. Did anyone lose a star? No. Let's talk about Michelin's new additions. To recap, 2024 saw 8 additions and 3 got stars: Shingo, Ogawa, and Entre Nos. 2023 saw 8 additions as well, and 1 got a star: Tambourine Room. 2025 saw 10 additions and 1 got a star: Itamae Ao. The additions: Kojin, Recoveco, Sunny's, Vice Versa, Soraya, Torno Subito, Cotoa, Palma, and Gran Central, which seems to be closed still. All of the listed additions remain recommended. That means they're listed on the guide, but they're not a bib and do not have a star. What do I mean by a listed addition? Michelin has been doing this thing the last several years where they tease out restaurant names who are being added to the guide without telling you if they will remain recommended, receive a bib, or become a star. So again, all of the ones that they teased this year across 2 press releases just remained recommended. There was only 1 new bib added, and that was one not named as a new addition in a Michelin press releases. But they were invited to the ceremony. I'm talking about Heritage. I wonder if Michelin was going to do teaser press release for the new areas for Lauderdale and Palm Beach, but they never did. All of those additions to the guide were a surprise. I only mentioned them in the past, like I mentioned Heritage, because I'd heard about it through the grapevine. The 1 bib that went to them, they're in Fort Lauderdale. Palm Beach also got a couple of others I'm not familiar with, Aioli and Palm Beach Meats. Remember I said there would be probably many disappointments this year, everyone thinking they're invited, I said that because typically an invite to a ceremony means a bib or a star. Michelin would leak a teaser list of additions, but that is not synonymous with an invitation to the ceremony. This year, the Michelin Guide invited the new recommended restaurants. It wasn't their usual MO, so I'm pretty sure some thought they would be receiving more than just a mention or a recommendation in the guide. Live and learn next year. Don't count those eggs before they hatch, and also keep it humble. You know who you are. So many restaurants would have loved to have been in even that recommended category, so snubbing it once there, it's not a good look. I'm just saying. Back to the stars. I did say this would be a year of low stars for Miami and that we did have 3 strong contenders. I said Itamae, Kojin, and Recoveco, and that the only thing holding me back from being 100% certain that they would all get a star is that they haven't been open for that long to be considered consistent, which is usually a big quality Michelin goes for, as it should. And as I said, if anything, Itamae has been open longer and delivering their menu on a pretty steady rhythm. And that's what Michelin did. Congratulations to Nando Chang. I'm so very proud of him and this well-reserved accolade, and I believe in it so much. I purposely reserved dinner for the week after the ceremony, in the hopes it would be a celebration dinner, and it was.
For sure. Well, so this concept has only been open for about a year, so is that correct? Yes. What does this star mean to you?
It just means that people like my father, undocumented immigrants who came to this country over 30, 35 years ago, still have a future in this country.
Given I would be in Orlando, I did the same for Omo by Jaunt. I reserved for the day after the ceremony. Of course, I was hoping to be celebrating the big 2 stars and not 1 star, but Michelin decided to award a 2 to another restaurant that actually escaped my radar. Shocker. It's called Sorecara. To follow a pattern, and you know I love to establish Michelin patterns, Sorecara, like Omo, offers a multi-room experience several hours long. You're not in the same room the entire time. Like Omo, dinner is a journey in several rooms. Both offer a dizzying amount of attention to detail throughout the experience. I will have to try Sorecara out and get the scoop and see just why it outranked Omo this time. It looks spectacular, and I'm really excited to try it. Moving to focus on Fort Lauderdale. I explained last episode that Mas is similar to Omo when it comes to the chef's counter. They're the same hospitality group and the same chef owner of Omo by Jaunt in Orlando, 2-star Jaunt, and 1-star in Bresca in DC. What I said, it would not make sense to reward Mas and Omo with 1 star. So 1 star, 1 star. The Omo experience offers more, and given Jaunt is already a 2 in DC, Omo should 100% be the next 2 stars in Florida and Mas 1. What did Michelin do? They awarded Omo 1 star and only the chef's counter at Mas with 1 star. I'm only aware of that situation at one other place in the U.S., and that is Imperfecto in D.C. The Imperfecto dining room does not have a 1 star, but the chef's table tasting menu does. This does make sense to me, given I expressed hesitation over them being inside a hotel and keeping things consistent with that large of a dining room. I also said I'm not holding my breath from any other Fort Lauderdale restaurants to get a star. I don't see it. The longtime staples are there, or they're okay, but they're not. I don't think they qualify as stars. And it's a good thing I didn't hold my breath. Mas was the only one in Fort Lauderdale to receive that star. I mentioned this might be a story of a lot of recommended and bibs for Fort Lauderdale. Well, Heritage was the only bib, so that wasn't a lot, actually. And there wasn't also a lot of recommendeds for Fort Lauderdale. Hopefully next time. For new recommended, which Michelin lists as selected restaurants on their website to add to the confusion, the new additions are Larb Thai, Isan, Daniel's Florida Steakhouse, and Evelyn's. I did mention Daniel's and Evelyn's to you, so those shouldn't have been a surprise. Moving north to Palm Beach. Bukan, Culinary and the Parched Pig, Moody Tongue Sushi, Stosh, Nicholson Muir, and Butcher's Club. Let's dive in. Hands down, I saw Conroe as the only standout for Palm Beach and a star, and that's exactly what happened. I am super excited for them. I also called Bukan and Stosh, although I thought Stosh would be a bib. Culinary and Nicholson Muir, which I haven't been to, but I had heard rumblings about, which is why I mentioned it. And of course, Butcher's Club, which I'm a fan of, which is by Jeremy. Those were all the recommendeds. So my question of does the Michelin Guide award Michelin stars to steakhouses? In this case, Daniel's and Butcher's did not get the star nod. After my last episode, however, aired, I did take a closer look at the steakhouse situation. I found that 5 steakhouses in the U.S. currently have stars: Côte Korean Steakhouse in Miami and New York, Gwen in L.A., Niku in San Francisco, and Kappa in Orlando. There was also Peter Luger in New York City and Knife and Spoon in Orlando, but they lost their stars. Of all the new Palm Beach recommended, Moody Tongue is the only one I didn't call. Let's talk about green stars. I said I would love to see Ford's Farm and Rancho Patel recognized. Ford's Farm did receive the green star in addition to their 1 star, and I'm so happy about that. He has been working on that farm so hard, and you need to follow that Instagram account. It's hilarious how much he loves it. Rancho Patel did not. I'm still baffled as to why that is. Rancho Patel by Chef Niven Patel of Ghee has been doing it longer. Don't get the oversight. Could it be because he lives on property? Should that matter? Does he need to move out? What is going on? It does not make any sense. What is Niven's farm missing? I invite the Michelin inspectors to attend one of Rancho Patel's dinners on the farm so they can experience it up close and personal. The one surprise for me was Entre Nos receiving the green star. I didn't see that one coming this year, but I am stoked for the team. Again, another accolade for what essentially is still a pop-up with a zillion limitations, but they continue to impress the Michelin Guide. The future continues to shine for Entre Nos. To conclude, overall, I'm happy with the results. It was a beautiful ceremony, smooth sailing throughout with a large showing by the South Florida community. At the end of the day, I applaud the slow and steady approach to handing out accolades. Oversights, yes. Things I don't agree with, yes. I discussed that in detail, as I said before, but I remain happy with the results for the most part. Perhaps to get the most answers for us, who are always discussing the Michelin Guide, coming up later this year on the podcast, I will be chatting it up with a Michelin Guide former inspector. My guest spent over 20 years on the field and logged about 350 meals annually. I recently asked you all on my Instagram stories to submit questions for my guest, and you sure did. Here's a sneak peek of some of the replies the inspector already shared with me, but I will be recording this conversation in the studio in person like I am now, in full with your submitted questions and my very own this summer. One of the questions, do you have to pay for your meals or does Michelin reimburse? No. All inspectors, they said, are full-time salaried employees. Each employee is given a company credit card to use for all allowed expenses, and dining is charged on these company cards. Every inspector files monthly expense reports to corroborate all the charges, etc., as with any full-time employee. Another question, do one set of inspectors take care of the whole East Coast and USA, and how many times do they visit each city? The answer, the headquarters are in New York City, Gramercy Park area on West 18th Street. However, the guide has hired inspectors which live on both East and West Coast. The headquarters are on the East Coast, but yes, the inspectors are given vast areas to monitor, cover, research, visit, update, etc. The rule is that these areas are to be swapped every few years, so a new set of eyes will then refresh a selection. Totally normal and welcome. As for the number of times an inspector covering a city where he or she does not reside, it depends on the volume of new restaurants, chef changes, potential promotions, or demotions. So there's nothing set at all. It depends on the volume. And my favorite question of all, I think, do you get discount on tires? They said, LOL, yes, yes, windshield wipers, and so much more. Michelin is a very generous company. I like hearing that. So there you go. I am very excited to bring you that interview soon. You will not want to miss it. Reminder that next year the Michelin Guide is going statewide from Key West, Jacksonville to Pensacola, and every delicious dish in between. That should be very interesting. I don't know how they're going to get to all of that. And that's a wrap on this Michelin Guide Ceremony Uncensored episode. If you enjoyed the tea and sass and the sparkle of stars, follow The Wet Palette wherever you listen to podcasts and leave a review while you're at it. It helps more food lovers, chefs, and curious diners find the show. For even more Michelin insights, fine dining commentary, and behind-the-scenes scoop, follow me on Instagram at The Wet Palette, and check out thewetpalette.com for blog updates and full Michelin coverage. Got thoughts, hot takes, or just want a dish? Slide into my DMs or send me a message. I always want to hear what you think. Until next time, keep your forks fancy, your palates wet, and your Michelin predictions bold. Ciao.
So the ceremony just concluded, and I am here with the team from Ogawa. Say hi, guys. Hi.
Hi.
Tell me how it felt being here another year, and this time, were the nerves the same, or were you still a little jittery, not nervous?
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you very much for having us. I'm so happy to get into another start of the 2025.
I think there was a big part of us that was hoping for us to push a little harder, so it's got to come back stronger next year. So,
and just keep doing what we're doing, which is like giving good service, serving good food, and with all the passion. So.
And you're doing such a great job. Ogawa, in case you didn't listen to my last episode, is one of the restaurants that I think is kind of straddling the line between a 1 and a 2. So I would not be surprised to see this amazing team one of these years called up on stage as a 2 Michelin star. How do you feel about the other Miami restaurants that got their new stars today?
Nice. I think there is a lot of young new chef, which means that Miami is getting better. The next generation is they're doing they're innovating, which is really good for us, for all of us in the business.
Congratulations, and let's go to the after party. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see what you do next.
We're already doing it. And I'm like, we don't fight for awards. Like, if we ever have to lose who we are to be something else, we'll never do that. But the reality is, we have evolved into a place that is so special and so, like, incredible, because it's a collective story as opposed to just mine.
Tell me about your playlist.
I don't want to be cut out here. I don't want to be shorted. So
I love your playlist.
Yeah, me too. I love my playlist too. And the people who watch my stories every day, and which I on purpose post the things that I post, is because it is where I'm from. It is the lifestyle that I grew up with. It is what I do. And like, when I always say, and I've told you this forever, you and Lawrence, I've said this forever. When you guys dine with me, you dine in my living room with me, and I want you to feel like you are part of my home because I love you guys. So music's part of that.
More importantly, the point here is he plays it porque le da la gana. So there's that. Bye.
Yeah, sure.
I drop.